I'm Chris Avino with American Outdoor News. Welcome to another episode. And today we have Chad Schearer from Bergara. Chad, thanks so much for coming on. I know we've been talking about this for a while.
I am excited to be here. We have, and I appreciate your podcast and what you do for this industry.
You know, we met many, many years ago on the long shot tour.
Yes, down in Texas, I think, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was outside of Dallas, and I didn't even have American Outdoor News at that time. I still had See Me Hunt,
Yeah.
and here
Now,
we
remember
are.
that event? It rained like crazy.
But it was so much fun.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've lucky we had that overhang, or the
hmm
whole thing would have been completely washed out. But it really was a blast, and it was great to not just get to know the brand better. It was good to know the people behind the brand.
And that's one thing that's great about the BPI brands is we've got so many fantastic people and a lot of longevity with the brand. It's kind of funny now. I'm one of the veterans there. I've been with them for going on 28 years, and so it's
Wow.
hard to believe how fast that's went.
Yeah, it really has. And I'm going into seventh year with American Outdoor News, and just feels like yesterday.
Well, congratulations on that.
Do you know what that means? It means we're getting old.
Hopefully wiser.
Yeah, one would think. Now, Bergara's been around for a little while now. I think they've grown more notoriety probably over the last 7, 8, 9 years um, than in the past. What do you think sets Bergara apart from your competitors at this point?
Well, I'll just tell you, Chris, I've been fortunate. I have been with Bergara since the time it started and was there from day one, from the concepts to doing the OEM barrels. And I think one thing that has set Bergara apart is we've tried to capitalize on what shooters and hunters want and
Yeah,
focusing on quality, but yet being affordable. It's
yeah.
not the lowest price, it's not the highest price, but you get a lot of great value there with Bergara. And
I,
go ahead.
I think it came along really at the perfect time to fill a void, and um, yeah, I think you really took a giant leap forward as well.
Right. And it's neat the history of it. We started where we were doing the OEM barrels because people found out the barrel making capabilities we had. And then from there, we started the custom shop and had Dan Hannes um, started with us and built a really niche following of people that wanted good quality and accurate rifles. And then that progressed into 2014 when we started the B14 line and the production line. So when you start thinking about it, it's quite incredible that in the last 11 years, we've been able to develop a production line of rifles that keeps evolving and trying to stay very current with the trends and what people want. And one of the big things that we do is we really try to listen to our customers and what they're asking for. And so much of it today is driven by different calibers and different types of shooters, whether you're shooting a PRS match or you're shooting any of your 22 competitions, or you're
Yeah,
taking this on a hunt of a lifetime, and which is what I'm all about. I love that. And then on top of that, we have the Bergara Academy, which I'm very blessed to be able to be the on-site manager in Montana, instruct up there. We have one in Wyoming now too, and so we're trying to feed the brand and feed our consumers and help them succeed to have more success on their trips.
Now, I know at one point you were doing some small batch manufacturing. You still doing that just to test the market?
Yeah, we do different things. We're always looking at testing the market and then seeing what's going on. We haven't announced any of that here just recently, but that was a great tool we were using for a while on testing the market just to see where it's at and what we had going on, and that gave us a lot of information.
Well, when you're going out on a deer hunt, which Bergara are you going to grab?
Ooh, that is a tough one because
Depending on where in the country.
well, it depends where in the country. Now, I live in Montana, so I'm a Western hunter, and man, there are so many great models. I do love the Crest Squared carbon barrel. I also love the Ridge carbon. I like that lightweight because we're going to be taking those guns and taking them for a hike. And some things with that Crest carbon, the squared rifle I love is it has a fixed cheek piece in there, so you're getting a good weld on your cheek for that scope, and it's just it doesn't add the extra weight if you're putting anything in there for pillars to adjust that height.
Yeah.
That is probably going to be my go-to gun. However, I love our Schearer, and I'll take any. To be honest with you, I'll take any of them, and I'll go shoot a deer with it. It's
Yeah.
they're all fantastic, but those would be that Crest is probably going to be my go-to gun.
What's your go-to caliber?
All right, so are we talking deer? Are we talking elk? We talking all around?
Let's stay with deer.
Okay, we'll stay with deer. You know, living in Montana, I want something that's hard hit and then flat. But when I travel, I use 6.5 Creedmoor a lot. I
Okay.
know there's lots of different arguments on that. I I I would probably, if I had to just choose one, just for deer, I'd bump it up to 6.5 PRC, just because I like a little bit more power.
Yeah.
We talk elk and 30 calibers. That's kind of one of my fortes. I'm all about that, and I'm really opinionated when it comes to that. But on deer, a 6.5 PRC is great. And I love that, especially if I'm heading down to Texas where you have some opportunities at some pigs or other animals while you're there.
Yeah.
But that little extra speed knockdown power, I'm all about it.
I've always been a 308 guy.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think it's more of a universal round. You could use it for just about anything, including elk. It might
Yep.
be, you know,
Yep.
you're not getting, you know, a 500-yard shot and getting the same
Yep.
knockdown power, but you can take pretty much anything with it.
Well, and I will tell you this last year, I really tested the 7 PRC, and I spent a lot of time hunting elk with it, but also hunting mule deer, and just a fantastic caliber. Um, just really, really got the job done.
I know you said you were just chasing some turkeys. Uh, any plans on venturing out into shotgun territory?
We're always looking at every avenue and everything. I mean, you think about it as a production brand, it's been 11 years uh, in the making with the guns we have now. So that that's not something that is on the near future. But with Bergara, I always say you never know. You never know what might be coming out less next. But I do know one thing: no matter what they do, they're going to be looking at um, every aspect of it, and if it makes sense, then we'll go down that line. I don't see anything in the immediate future, but I'm not going to say never because
Never say never. You just don't
look
know.
look at where we've came from and where we're at now.
Yeah. Now, how do you balance the tradition with the technology?
As far as
Well, you pretty much have a traditional um, look to the
mhm,
gun,
yeah.
to
So
Bergara. But
so we have that, and that's why I hesitated on that because we do keep up with the technology, and if you look at our MG light or our MG micro light with the chassis and titanium. And you see the guns are our comp rifle. You're going to see some really cool technology. And that's the same thing, even on that, the gun we were talking about with, when we're talking about the Crest, the technology on that is fantastic. So there's really, when you're looking at the Bergaras, you start out where you have our main B14 line. Then we have the B14 Wilderness line, which
Yeah.
you get a few more bells and whistles, like a fluted bolt on it. You've got some different looks to it. You got the Cerakoted barrels on our stocks, and then you go up into our Premier series, which those guns are made in our down in Lawrenceville, Georgia, at U.S. headquarters there. And you have a few more bells and whistles on those. You get the Trigger Tech triggers in there. You get a different type of stock in there, and so there's really basic three different levels when you're talking about these Bergaras, and but no matter what, I'll tell you, they shoot. For example, at the Bergara Academy up in Montana, we're using the B14 Wilderness Ridge carbon barrel and shooting carbon when we're heating those barrels up. But it's amazing the accuracy. We've been doing that for the last 2 years, and it's great for us to really put those guns through the ringer. And I can tell you, I would take that gun anywhere on any hunt.
Well, they really are an impressive line.
Yeah.
The accuracy, I mean, you really don't even feel any recoil on some of these models.
Well, and then you throw a suppressor on them, which I'm a big fan of suppressors, and especially in hunting and states you can use them, and it just allows you to stay on the animal, and that takes out so much recoil. I love it when parents could take young people out on their first hunt and they have a suppressor, and you put a suppressor on a 6.5 Creedmoor, and that young person isn't going to feel the recoil at all.
And the suppressors are actually easing up. They're becoming a lot easier to get, even in New York where I am.
Yeah.
It used to be near impossible.
Yeah.
Now it's getting a little easier.
Well, and it's so funny when you go into other countries where they don't require background checks or tax stamps, but certain European countries require that you hunt with a suppressor just because of the noise ordinances. And it's funny when I travel across the world and I see that, and then over here it's more of a challenge, but they are making it a little more streamlined for sure.
Now, for somebody, let's say a first timer just got his deer license, looking to get his first gun, what would you suggest for a first timer?
A gun that we just came out with here not too long ago was the Bergara Stoke, and that was released last year. The Stoke is amazing because you're talking a first timer, so you're talking somebody 10 to 12, maybe 14 years old, somebody that's smaller frame. I love it. You can adjust the length of pull, so you can take an inch off the length of pull. The barrel's a little bit shorter. It's a beautiful rifle. It's very, very affordable, and I would probably steer him towards a Stoke. I had a good buddy of mine, outdoor writer, Adam Hagenstaller, last year. His son came up to Montana, and he's a young man, never taken a mule deer before, and we used that Stoke on it, and he shot a deer at 300 yards with it, and to watch how he can maneuver it, how well it fit him, it really, really impressed me on that.
In what, like a 270?
He was actually using 6.5 Creedmoor on that. So
God bless him.
Yeah.
So what's in R&D? What can we expect? Any surprises? Anything you could talk about?
I can tell you we do have stuff in R&D that at Bergara we don't want to release anything until we've really tested it and really made sure it's market ready. I've got my fingers crossed that there might be a mid-year release what I'm hearing,
All
and
right.
I know what that is, and I'm excited about it. So we'll just see what happens. But I'd love to share that information with you and all your listeners. But I tell you, when it comes out, maybe we can jump back on and we can talk all about it.
Oh, hell yeah.
But I don't have a definite date on it yet. But as soon as I do, I'll let you know.
Well, either way, I'm going to see it at the shows.
Oh yeah,
You just got to plan on putting one in my hands.
I hear you. I hear you. Yep.
But, all right, so where can we find Bergara?
Go to our website, Bergara. The best one's probably going to be bergarausa.com. And that's a great way. It's full of information, and you can definitely get everything you need to off of that. And that it's Bergara. Let's see here. The best one probably is going to be Bergara. Let me just make sure, because I don't want to send your listeners to a different one. I've got them saved in my phone, so they just pop up so fast. But yeah, bergarausa.com is going to be a great source for them.
Lastly, how has the tariffs affected your business?
We are monitoring that closely, and we're just kind of watching it from 30,000 feet right now to see what's going to happen. So
Yep.
I'm very supportive of our president. I understand the needs and the reasoning behind things. Yes, Bergara comes out of Spain, and so we're just kind of watching and seeing what happens with that.
Would you be affected more on the import or the export side?
Probably more on the import side, because most of our premieres pretty much stay here in the U.S. But when it'd be more on the import side.
Okay. Well, I think that's industry wide
It
and
is.
across multi industries right now. Everybody's thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I've talked to several other people not just in the firearms part of it, but in the different aspects. And it's amazing how many of our hunting gear goods
Oh,
come from overseas.
optics, clothing, backpacks. The list goes on and on.
Yeah, even with the scents and the soaps and the grills, and there's a lot there. So
Oh, there's always the homemade remedies that that work well.
yes,
But
sir.
all right, any big hunts planned this year?
Yeah, I've got a couple heading up to Saskatchewan for black bear. Then I'll be going to Africa, and then I'm just waiting on some more draws. There's still some of the draws are out. Utah hasn't happened yet, so we'll see what happens there. And of course, I'm always gonna do my Montana elk and deer and
Sure.
to draw antelope there and apply for. My biggest thing is I apply for a lot of states just to see where we can draw and what happens with that.
Yeah, I've guided the past few years, so my ability to hunt for myself was shrunk down. But
Yep.
this year I'm all about me.
Good for you. Good for you. It's important to get out there, and we get out there with our family a lot, and it's just there's nothing like it when you're out there on those clear cold mornings and listen to an elk bugle or watching a mule deer or a whitetail chase. It's just there's nothing about it. So
Yeah, we're just looking deer and bear here.
yeah,
We got some nice monster bear on the property, so we're keeping our fingers crossed for changing their feeding habits and they come out during the day.
absolutely. Is that a draw tag up there in New York, or can you
No,
get?
New York, we can get one per season, whether it's archery or rifle. you could get one in whatever season.
Wow. Well, I was doing the Great American Outdoor Show up in Pennsylvania, and the number of guys that they have that early bear season with a muzzleloader, it's pretty incredible. And I mean, they'll take some 500 to 800 pound bears up there, and they get them in those cornfields, especially. It's
Yeah.
amazing how big those bears will get.
Well, I guided Pennsylvania, and
Yeah.
average, you're looking at like a, I don't know, 180 to 250 pound bear, which
Yeah.
250 is a nice size bear.
Yeah. It is for sure. For sure.
But
Especially when you try to pack them out.
oh God, yeah, that's always a difficult part.
Oh, black bears are some of the harder animals to pack out of anything.
Well, thank God for an ATV and a sled.
Yep, exactly right. Exactly right. So,
All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to speak to us today. And if you haven't subscribed to the podcast, hit the subscribe button now, and we'll see you again next week.
all right, Chris, thank you so much.
All right.